In this K2 quick brief, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the K2 SmartForms experience, and I'll show you how you can actually embed our apps and other web technologies. So if you're not familiar with K2, we're a business process applications platform that requires no coding. We've got four pillars: forms, workflow, reports, and data. And the great part about our platform is you can use these pillars all together, or you can use them independently. So the demo I'll show you today is going to be a mix of forms and data, and we'll throw in some reports and workflow just to give you a feel. So the true value of K2 is that we solve a really painful business problem, and I like to call it the plague of Windows. If you walk into any organization today, folks are using 4, 5, 6 applications to actually get their job done during the day. It can be SharePoint, Workday, Oracle, Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, and the list just goes on and on. What K2 gives you the ability to do using its data layer is actually take all those applications and consolidate them into one unified interface for efficiency and productivity improvements. So if you take a look at a K2 Smart Form, this particular one is actually embedded within SharePoint, and we go ahead and break it down. K2 uses building blocks in our forms technologies, and these are called views. And those views can go to a single line of business system, or they can tap into multiple line of business systems. So if you look at this breakdown, we've got account information coming from Salesforce. We're automatically and dynamically pulling back documents from SharePoint for that account, cases for that account from Salesforce, and invoice information from an accounting backend system. Now, in this case, it's coming from SQL, but it could come from Oracle or any other financial system that we have an integration with. The real important part is the upper left-hand corner, and I put K2 in there. Obviously, this entire screen is a K2 application that's embedded, but you can also have sub-applications. So in this case, we've got a number of quick icons that we can click on to kick off other K2 applications that may tap into the same line of business systems or different line of business systems. So the real point I want to drive forward is we're not only limited to Salesforce and SharePoint and SQL, we've got a number of out-of-the-box service brokers with no code that can integrate into things like SAP, Oracle, Exchange, Azure, DocuSign, Box, and the list just goes on and on. So really, we're a consolidator and an overarching technology to integrate all your business systems. So now that I've got the overview done, let's go ahead and kick off a demo. So I've got a couple different experiences shown for you. First of all, know that K2 SmartForms, you can actually run them from a direct URL to the K2 server. So you can see this is actually the forms technology or the smart form that I actually built out. And when I log in, I can see all my different icons. I can see my accounts. This is an interactive form. So as I select accounts from Salesforce, you can see that I'm pulling back documents for that account, like I said, from SharePoint, cases from Salesforce, and invoices from a SQL accounting system. Now I'm doing a number of things here. So this is also an interactive form. So if I click on a case on the right-hand side, it's actually going to pop open a K2 subform and bring me back information. Okay. Let's go ahead and shift. So you've seen this form. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like embedded in SharePoint. So you can see that this form is actually iframed into SharePoint. So I'm giving users a consolidated experience if that's the portal technology they use to log in and get their work done during the day. So let me show you some other things. So up on the top, I've got all these different apps that I've built, and these can be really simple. So for example, when I highlight an account and I click on this note icon, you can see that now I can add notes to Salesforce through this consolidated interface. One of the great benefits is that I can carry information from the master form into any children forms. So this form automatically knows this is for Burlington Textiles, and it'll add information automatically under that account and that parent ID. I've got some other things I can do. I can create tasks, I can create attachments. I've actually got a dashboard, and I'll talk about that in a minute. This is actually a quote to cash application, a sub application that's built out in K2. So when I click on this, once again, it's going to open this sub form, and I've got a number of things that I can do within this interface. So I can actually come in here. So if I wanted to create a quote for Burlington, I can start to type, and you can see it automatically pulls that information, populates, so I don't have to retype information over and over and over. Okay. Not only can I integrate with CRM technology like Salesforce or Microsoft CRM, but I've also got the ability to come in here and I can run a lookup. So in this case, I can run a lookup against Active Directory or any other identity technology that you have. Okay. As I scroll down, I can type some notes. And then I've got line item technology. So these line items, all this information is coming from your CRM system up above, but note that I've also got the ability to come in here and pull information from SAP, let's say, where you've got your products or your uh, other bits of information. So I'll come in here, I can say, hey, we're going to add some finance software to this customer. You can see that I've got line item creation capability. So we'll actually come in here and add some training and we'll click submit. Okay. So this quote can be added into Salesforce. It can be added into a financial system. So if you wanted to track quotes, I can auto generate PDFs. Okay. So, and I can archive those in SharePoint or any other document management system. So the last piece I'll show you, we've seen forms workflow that kicked off a quote to cash approval process, which is a workflow. Now let's look at some reporting capability. So if I come in here, I've also got dashboarding capability. So now I can come in here, I can see, click and actually drill down into different processes or different quotes that I'm processing. So really the sky's the limit here on how you can customize this to really optimize the flow of work within your organization, make it easy for your end users to get their business done across many different line of business systems or applications. This is a quick overview. If you want to see more in-depth information, give us a shout at k2.com. Thanks.